And a pleasant good afternoon. You're looking in live at the John J. Lee Amphitheater on the campus of Yale University. It's a matchup between a pair of in-state rivals. Central Connecticut State will take on Yale, but it's going to get loud in here as it's Kids Day right here in New Haven, Connecticut. And welcome into this presentation of the Ivy League on ESPN. Alongside Allison Gaskins, I'm JJ Duke. Allison, this Yale team hasn't been home often this year. This is their third home game of the season, but they've been successful at home, and in a rowdy atmosphere like this, the players are going to be excited.
That's right, JJ. In the first 12 games of this 2018-19 season, 10 of those have been on the road. But the best thing about this game for the Bulldogs is that finals are over, JJ. The Yale Bulldogs finished up their finals yesterday, and they are so excited to play here at home before getting to go home for their Christmas and holiday break.
Well, it's going to be an important game before they enjoy the holidays with their families. This Yale team hasn't played in a couple of days. In fact, it was just a week ago. They traveled out to West Point, defeated Army. It was a win by 62-51, but an impressive performance from the first year. Camilla Emsbo, 14 points, 14 rebounds.
Emsbo coming off a career high in that game of 14 rebounds against Army. She also had 14 points. This is an athlete who right now has already garnered 3 Ivy League Rookie of the Week titles, and rightfully so, as she is third right now in the Ivy League, both in rebounds per games and in block.
And Central Connecticut will be relying on their key scorer, a second-team All-Conference member last year, Kiana Patterson, who is averaging 18-plus points per game and already a 1,000 career point scorer. Well, it's certainly been a loud and festive occasion here in New Haven, Connecticut. Kids Day out at the John J. Lee Amphitheater. Over 700 school children from 5 different public schools here in the New Haven area taking in this one. They have made their presence felt thus far, Allison Gaskins, and well, the players certainly have fed off of it to an extent.
Yeah, they bring a lot of energy to this ball game. It's exciting on both sides to be able to play in front of, well, a pretty packed house.
And both coaches, actually, Burl Piper saying before, you guys are going to be able to hear yourself, and head coach for Yale, Allison Guth, saying, this is awesome. I wish it was this way every game. Love the energy from both head coaches here, trying to make a go of it before the holiday break ensues. This one dumped inside to Camilla Emsbo, looking to get her game going, and that little fall-away jumper is exactly what she needed.
Emsbo has been building up that strength as well with her back to the basket, establishing her ground, hanging on to it and turning into a defender, pulling up for those type of shots.
Emsbo coming off of a monster 14-point, 14 rebound game against Army West Point. Had the difficult assignment of guarding Maddie Hovren, a southpaw forward. As that one knocked down from distance from Kiana Patterson. She's got 8 points. Difficult, especially, you don't often guard bigs that are lefties, but well, credit Emsbo. She held her own. Sure, Hovren got her points, but Emsbo got hers as well, as that 3 is off the mark. Patterson loves running this sort of methodical half-court offense. The referee will stop the game. The net gets caught in the upside, and they'll need a mop to bring that one down. I think Camilla Emsbo might say, I could probably go knock it down myself, but she stays on the floor. Look at Kiana Patterson, a senior from Troy, New York, second-team All-Conference last year. How about this? Not an easy place to go play at the Rutgers Athletic Center down in New Jersey, but got her 1,000th career point against the Scarlet Knights. That must have been a real good day for her. Just the 16th player in program history to go into 1,000.
Such a special moment for any athlete once you reach that 1,000 points. I mean, that is a proud career that you can look back on and reminisce, and that is something that Patterson will never forget, knocking down that, I believe it was a mid-range jumper.
Yeah, very early on in the game. That's always, for an athlete, you don't want to go into a real long lull and have to think about it for a while. So yeah, Patterson getting it done early. Annie Leiden not too far away, another senior from Pennsylvania, closing in on 750 points in her career. Emsbo, short little jumper off the mark. Great closeout by the freshman who just checked in. That's Carly Reynolds wearing the number 40. Immediately calling for the ball down the blocks. That's an interesting matchup right there. You have Reynolds at 6'2", Emsbo at 6'5", Patterson not going to get anything with that. We'll be going the other way.
That possession felt a little rushed for CCSU. I never felt like they had full control on offense, but instead they just lost possession, and it's back over to the Bulldogs.
Roxy Berriman already littering the stat sheet. 10 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. As you will, it's another day at the office for her. Kicks back out. Tori Andrews spots that. No good. Reynolds fighting against Alex Cades, also come off really strong, 6 and 6. But CCSU going the other way. Artigas now inside Reynolds. Skip pass near side. Good ball movement by Central. Back inside of Reynolds. That was a little bit forced right there. You'd like Forker maybe to take that. Behrman kicks, Gorman, Cade. Behrman wants it, drives hard to the lane. Fronted by Villa Artiguez with a nice move. Off balance, spinning away and lays it home.
Again, Behrman just creating all the space that she needed, dead center inside the paint, pushing off her defender, opening it up and going right under the basket, no problem.
Ties the largest lead for Yale of the day by 6 points. Under 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Leiden, not really a three-point shooter, but can knock him down. Said drives inside. Strong board by Megan Gorman. Now, Gorman's starting to have her offensive game going, but she's one that averages 8.5 rebounds per game, and a nice supplement to the likes of Emspo and Cade.
Yeah, good for third in the Ivy for Megan Gorman in those rebounds per game.
And this is a tough league to get rebounds as well. All 8 teams in the Ancient 8, they are so driven on defense. And if you can crash the boards hard, you're doing something right in this conference.
Smart move there by Behrman to slow the game down, control the pace, hang on to the tempo.
You want to build some momentum going into the locker room. Maximize these possessions as Emsbo dumps it inside and Cade staying hot. She is 4 of 5 here in the first half.
Cade with 8 points now for Yale.
And everything has come in the blocks. Yale have really exploded the paint. 18 points now of their 27 coming inside. Central want to hurry. They can go 2 for 1 here. That's what Patterson will do and throw it in. So Kiana Patterson now 4 of 10. She's also in double figures. A very smart take there from Patterson. Of course, if you make it, it looks smart. But now her team can go for 2 for 1. Behrman up and under. Count it. And she'll go to the line.
Another, how did she do that shot by Behrman?
And Roxy Behrman just continues to dazzle here in the early portion of this 2018-19 calendar. She's been in 20-plus land 7 times the team's 12 games this season. And the junior from Calabasas, California, will go to the line, looking to now go up to 15 if she can knock this in. She can't, though.
That has been the Achilles heel for Roxy Behrman, those free throw opportunities.
Well, not only for Behrman, but really extends to this entirety of the Yale roster. The team dead last, and by some margin in the Ivy, they shoot at 63% from the free throw line.
And they'll talk about that every post game. They kind of laugh it off and shake it off, but they know it's a huge area of focus for them. And this is a big situational moment right here for CCSU.
Patterson needs to get a make here. Kicks near side. Leiden from 3. No good. And that will do it. Well, should do it for the first half. There we go now. The clock stopped for a half second, but that will take us to the intermission. But the Bulldogs, by way of an impressive 14-point performance from Roxy Behrman, they lead after 20 minutes. You're watching a presentation of the Ivy League on ESPN. The Iona College Gales starting to find some momentum here in this ball game. Also trying to find some momentum heading to MAC play. They'll have one more non-conference game. They'll be back at the Heinz Athletic Center. Their first home game since the start of the season when they took on Albany back on the 9th of November. Then Monmouth and Fairfield also at home as well. And all of a sudden, Frank Maturo, this Iona team who are trailing by as many as 21, they've cut it back to a manageable deficit.
2 very quick fast break buckets by Iona. Now they have 2 players in double figures. Ricky McGill and E.J. Crawford are both in double figures for Iona.
Well, how about a response from Paul Atkinson, who can seem to do nothing wrong here today. He's made every shot that he's taken.
Getting the ball 2-3 feet from the basket, and even though they're tough shots, he's making them. He's making them. It's very hard for the opposition when you have Atkinson at 6'10 and Bruner at 6'9, both in the game at the same time.
I mean, that's just such an extra weapon, right, with Bruner being a 6'9" point guard, basically. I mean, you can't get that. You look over everybody and see the holes that not a usual PG would see. This one dumped in underneath. The layup, though, from Jonathan Maxwell. He'll draw contact, go to the line.
Bruner does need to get better at his free throw shooting, though. He's a little low on the free throw shooting percentage, so hopefully he can pick that up as they go into the Ivy League season. You mentioned Iona. Yale has 3 more non-conference games to play, pretty much first week of January before they start with Brown in the Ivy League.
And funny enough with this Yale team is Jonathan Maxwell misses that one. For the well-traveled unit that the Bulldogs are. They still have another flight to go. They're going to go back out to California. I mean, remember this much for Yale. They started their season in Shanghai, China. Then you go to Memphis. A relative 2 short trips to Burlington, Vermont, and Providence. Then go to Miami. Then Duke. Oh, and then all of a sudden you have to go back out to Cal State Northridge. So, yeah, they're well-traveled, say the least.
Iona in that 2-1-2 zone trap again. But again, Yale's getting the ball inside.
And again, it's Paul Atkinson.
On that Iona zone defense.
Atkinson right now with 18 points. Still perfect from the floor. His only miss is 1 from the free throw line. He's 2 of 3. That foul goes against Yale.
And Yale has 2 of their subs in the game with Eric Monroe and Azar Swain at guard.
Again, you talk about that great vision that Bruner has. Not a usual point guard would see that, but Bruner stands tallest among everybody and just dumps it in.
He dribbles the ball up the court. He passes the ball well from outside and inside.
Yeah, I think you hit it so perfectly earlier on, Frank, about how everyone looks at Mie-Aoni, and rightfully so. He's one of the best players, not only in the Ivy, but in the region. But then you have Bruner, missed the season due to injury as that 3-ball rolls in from Crawford. You have Bruner, who missed the season. You expect the ring rust to be there. All of a sudden now, he's becoming one of the best players in the conference.
Absolutely. He's gonna be huge. Everyone talks about Mie potentially being a pro at some point, and obviously he's been to some camps where you could say that. I think Jordan has a shot also.
Zoni now trying to back his way in. Eric Monroe tiptoes the baseline. Good ball movement. Swain, elbow jumper, good.
Nice pump fake by Azar. Everyone thinks he's going to take a 3. He takes the dribble up, and nice jump shot for a 2.
Bulldogs now 20 assists on 25 made baskets. Now Iona, they're starting to play their up and down game a little bit.
Absolutely. They're not wasting any time going right to the basket.
The likes of Crawford are moving, McGill they're moving. They both over double digits. As it looks like they have a jump ball on the far side. We'll find out after this break with 11:54 left to go. The Bulldogs, though, still up by 14. Back in a moment here on ESPN+.